Happy Sunday every morning. Every Sunday's a happy day. Listen, today's date's 11/3 of 2019. I have a daily chart on the S&P 500. I'll go through it with you. We made another 52-week high on very low volume, which is disturbing. However, the data that came out on the jobs report Friday and manufacturing isn't quite as bad as anticipated. We get these kinds of headlines, and the futures market gapped up really big. I did a video on Friday so you could see that. One of the things that I can say is the high was 3,066. So we had that push up, but we're overbought. And this should be alarming for people because we know that there's that pullback, and there is. And there's a lot of money to be made. And earnings season is winding down. And all of the numbers that were pumped and all of the algorithms that work in the exchanges pumped and pumped it up on light volume. Does that mean it was just individuals buying stocks? That is not the case. They're the minority. The ones who dominate the move are called machine-driven algorithmic trading, which bids up the futures, which takes the indexes and stocks higher when they gap up open. And we've had a lot of price volatility in the indexes across the board on lower volume, but nonetheless, 52-week high bull run, which is fine. However, I'm given a very, very alarming update that this was down on low volume. And you really need to watch your back as we start moving forward and whatnot. So we're going to become less news dependent based on all of the gloom and doom for 2020, which is recession. And then they come out with headlines that counteract it, and they bid it up. The extreme lower volume move, lower volume, higher move, and all of the key indexes are for you to really be conscious of the fact that you don't want to get caught when they're up here at the highs. And we will have a pullback. The daily charts now on the S&P 500 are bullish, and they are, because that's how they read from a technical view for chartists and people who look at it. But there's a lot more behind it than just reading a technical indicator, period. And the substance behind it, and how the moves were created, and all the things that had happened during the month of October, which is now behind us, that started out on a very doom and gloom. And then the headlines came ripping out, even though that world economies have been downgraded to contraction in growth versus expanding.
Market data connection lost.
Now, we know a lot of that data is there, and the headlines
Market data connection reestablished.
So now, what the markets are going to have to look at is how far they've come, what the pullback will be, what the headline events on the elections, what the Federal Reserve did. There's so many things that have gone into this S&P 500 daily chart here, and we're up at the high. That means that we all know that you have to have your stops in on your individual stocks that trade in the S&P 500 that you may or may not own. We are professional market makers in equities and professional market makers in the option pit. And we know every secret and every game and how to make a lot of money there. And we hope that you will follow us, for the people that are watching. And that if you need some services, we definitely have them. and we're going to be highlighting them this week live in the market using call charts, put charts, overbought, oversold, and how to really make a lot of money when they go higher on light volume. It was a great move on light volume, but it's very alarming. So once again, we always bring these topics up when we start reaching this part of the zone. And we spent a fair amount of time being oversold in the S&P for a very short period of time. And then once again, they've got this big rally going into year end. And believe me, there will be a rate of change, a rate of momentum. There always has been when they get into these overbought levels on the S&P. We encourage you moving forward is to stay tuned on that S&P 500 analysis. In the videos to come today, you're going to learn how to make a lot of money in trading options with us.